religion of the Egyptians was based on power and order. And at the center of this religion was the version of the gods, or the incarnation of God on earth. His name was Pharaoh. A great example of this can be seen at one of the temples that has been uncovered by archaeologists in a place called Karnak in ancient Egypt. It's located about a mile off of the Nile River, but leading all the way down to the Nile is this beautiful paved walkway that stretches all the way to the temple, again, about a mile in length. And dotting the sides every few yards or so, on the sides of the walkway, is a statue. It's a statue of a ram, which is, in that particular vein of Egyptian mythology, a representation of the god Amun-Ra, god of the sun, and also, again, in that version of Egyptian mythology, the creator god, the god who sustains. But tucked underneath the chin of every ram sits a statue of Pharaoh. And it seems as if to say that Pharaoh is tucked beneath the protection of Amun-Ra, that it's Pharaoh who stands as the hands and feet, if you will, of the Egyptian gods on the earth. And as you approach the temple, the largest building that would have been in the city by far would have been the temple. And as you get to the temple proper, what you notice are these two massive pylons or gates, square towers that frame the entrance of the temple, maybe 140 to 200 feet tall. And they were positioned in a way so that as you approached the temple, when the sun would rise in those slots. And it was almost as if saying, what happens in this temple makes the sun come up. In other words, the religion of the Egyptians keeps the order of the universe. And the Egyptians believed that it was their gods who sustained the universe. But the person who was most responsible for the gods performing their duties was Pharaoh. Pharaoh was the representation of God on earth. He was the embodiment of the gods. And it was Pharaoh whose job it was to make sure that Amun-Ra brought the sun up in the morning and let it set in the night. It was Pharaoh who called the rains down from heaven. It was Pharaoh who caused the crops to grow. Pharaoh becomes the central figure of the Egyptian mythology. In the book of Exodus, God tells Moses to go speak to Pharaoh, for he is ready to bring judgment on Pharaoh and the gods of Egypt. And then God, one by one, begins to target the various gods of Egyptian mythology with different plagues, as almost as if to say, your God is not God of the flies or God of the sun or even God of life. I am.